Hi, welcome to my video on intersection of a line and a circle, part 2. And this video will be on the solving it algebraically and solving it geometrically. Find the intersection of each system. Again, find the intersection is the same as solving this system of equations. So notice we have one equation, which is the general form of a circle. You got x squared plus y squared, so that makes it a circle. And you have a line, x equals 3. It's not a point because it's in terms of x and y on a graph. So the x equals 3 is a vertical line. If you look at in relation to an ordered pair, x is 3, y is 0. X is 3, y is 1. X is 3, y is 2. So we have a vertical line. Now we have the equation x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y minus 12 equals 0. So x is 3, so I'm going to sub 3 in the place of x. Put 3 in the place of x, and now I'm going to simplify. 9 y squared plus 12 minus 6y minus 12 equals 0. I have a plus 12 and a minus 12, they cancel out. So I have y squared, 6y, and 9y. So y squared minus 6y plus 9 equals 0. And quadratic factors of 9 to give you 6 are 3 and 3. The product is positive and the sum is negative. So we have y, and y gives us y squared. Factors 9 to give you 6 is 3 and 3. If the product is positive and the sum is negative, it must be 2 negatives. So we have y minus 3 equals 0, or y minus, that's a negative there. Y minus 3 equals 0. So y is 3, y is 3. So we have x equals 3, and y is the same for each value of x. So the intersection is 1 point. So that means this vertical line intersects the circle at 1 point. So graphically, let's look at the line x equals 3. So x is 3, there's the x-axis, 3 here. And all the x coordinates are the same. So this is the vertical line. And again, that vertical line is x equals 3. All the x values are the same. Now we have the circle, which is x squared, y squared, plus 4x minus 6y minus 12 equals 0. And this is the general form, so I'm going to find the standard form, center radius, so I can graph it. We group the x's. We group the y's, and we'll move the constant term to the right to make it positive. Half of 4 is 2 squared is plus 4, so we balance it. Half of negative 6 is negative 3 squared is 9, so we balance it. As a result of completing the square, then that's a binomial squared, so it's an x. Half of plus 4 is plus 2 squared. And same with this trinomial, we got a y. Half of negative 6 is negative 3 and square. And 12, 16, 25. So the center of this circle is the opposite of plus 2, which is minus 2. The opposite of a negative 3 is 3. And r squared is 25. So r is the square root of 25, which is 5. So the radius is 5. So the center is negative 2, 3. So negative 2, 3, there's the center right there. And the radius is 5. So we'll go 5 right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go 5 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go 5 down. So what we have is a circle. So I'll just use my protractor that I have here and set the radius at 5. Here we go. And I'll draw the circle. I'm trying to let you see me drawing the circle with the compass without blocking out the camera. Notice the circle and the line intersects at the point 3, 3. Again, this is the center of the circle, -2, 3. And the radius is 5 right, 5 right, left, up and down. So there's the circle and the point of intersection. So this line is said to be tangent, touching the circle at one point. And the radius is right here. So the tangent and the radius forms a 90-degree angle. So notice that this is a vertical line. So if it's perpendicular to it, that's a horizontal line. This horizontal line is y equals 3. And we have another one to do. If you want, you can pause your video and work this one out. So, number 2. Notice again we have a circle, and the center is 2, -1, and the radius is √10, and we have a line. So let's take the line, y, x minus y equals 1. And let's solve the line for y. So -y equals -x plus 1. Multiplied by -1, we get y equals x minus 1. Now, this is equation number 1. This is equation 2. So I took the equation 2, which was the line, and I solved it for y. Notice I could have also solved it for x when you have a linear, but I decided to solve it for y. It makes no difference which one you solve for. So here's the equation of the circle. So y equals x minus 1. So we'll put in the place of y, x minus 1. And simplify the inside of the bracket. The 1's cancel out, so we get just x squared. And we square this binomial, so squared, take the first term and square it, which is x squared. Product is -2, doubled is -4, and -2 squared is 4, x squared. Now notice we have a quadratic, so we put it in descending order, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Because it's a quadratic, we bring the 10 over and make it negative. And we get a 2x squared minus 4x, and that's -6 equals 0. Notice 2 is a factor of each term, so we take the 2 out. X squared minus 2x minus 3. And again, this is a quadratic. The product, that's a 1, so the product is -3. The sum is -2, so we got double brackets. See if we can factor. If we can't factor, then we try the quadratic formula. So x squared is x and x. Factors of 3 is 3 and 1. Product is negative, sum is negative. That means the numbers are plus and minus, so it's a -3 plus 1. So x minus 3 is equal to 0. X plus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to 3. X is equal to 1. So we plug, again, just a reminder of 2. 2 is a constant, so we don't worry about the 2. The roots or the solutions is in the binomials as inside the bracket. Now we'll sub into this equation. I could sub it into this one, but since this equation is already solved for y, it's easier just to write down this equation and put x in. So x is 3, y is 2. Again, the equation number 2 is solved already, so it's easier to sub into that equation. So x is -1. So y is -2. So when x is -1, y is negative 2. That's the two ordered pairs. That's the two solutions. So this line intersects this circle at 2 points. So let's show that geometrically. So we have the equation x minus 2, y plus 1 squared equals 10. So we have the center of the circle, opposite of negative 2 is 2, opposite of plus 1 is a minus 1, and r squared is equal to 10, so r is the square root of 10. And we have the equation, which is already solved, so y equals x minus 1. So that means we have the equation y equals mx plus b. So the slope is 1, and the b is negative 1. So that's the y-intercept, and the slope is 1, understood to be 1 over 1. So let's draw the circle first. Notice root 10. Root 10 is a little bit more than 3. And so we plot the center at 2, negative 1 right there. And we'll go, root 10 is a little bit more than 3. 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more. And we go left, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more. And we go up, 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more. And we go down, 1, 2, 3, so it's 3 point something. Again, if you pick up your calculator that I have here, let's turn the calculator on, and we'll do the square root of 3. And again, it's 1.7. So the square root of 2 is 1.4. Square root of 7 is 1.1. Square root of 3 is 1.7. So it's a little bit more than halfway right there. So just a little tiny bit off. So now I'm going to take a compass and draw the circle with that radius. Again, I'm a little bit short of 1.7, but you'll see. There's a circle. Again, it's nice to draw a circle with a compass. It's more accurate. Okay, now we're going to plot the line. The line has a y-intercept of negative 1, which is right here. Y-axis, negative 1. And the slope is 1, which is 1 over 1. So the slope is up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So if I draw the line through those points, then there's the line, and it intersects at this point. Notice this is a line intersecting the circle at 2 points. This point right here, x is 3, y is 2. And this one right here, x is negative 1, y is negative 2. So algebraically, we worked out the answers. Graphically, we worked out the two answers. And when you work it out algebraically, you'll find the answers. When you do graphically, you got to be careful, because only if the points are integers that you will find them, like right here. But if the roots are fractional, or if the roots are irrational, then your line will intersect through, but you won't be able to tell exactly what they are. Okay, another one. And again, you can pause the video and work these out if you wish. So I have a equation of a circle. Again, a and b are the same with a plus sign, with x squared, y squared. So this is a circle. This is the linear. So we'll take the linear equation, x minus 2y equals 2. So you'd say, which one would you solve for? Well, because this is a 1, I'm solving this equation for x. Let me explain. Let me go up here. Yx, well, you could solve it for y and do this. Divide by negative 2. And y equals 1/2 x minus 1. You could solve it for x or solve for y. I just decided to solve for x because then I have no fractions to plug into this equation. So that's a good thing to do. So let's write down, this is equation 1. This is equation 2. So we solved equation 2. Now we're going to write down equation 1. I'm going to sub into this equation. But before I do, I want to remove the fraction. So I'm going to multiply the equation by 2. So that gives us 2 times a half is x squared. 2 times a half is y squared. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 2 times 0 is 0. Now I got a better equation to work with. So notice why I solve for x. Subbing in for x, I have no fractions to deal with. Again, it's your choice. We're subbing in for x. You could have solved it for y and subbed it in here for y. Your choice. Now I'm going to square these. So 2y being squared is 4y squared. Product is 4y doubled is 8y. 2 squared is 4. Y squared minus 6y equals 0. And as a result, we have, well, that's a plus there, just got to be careful, or put them in order. Y squared plus 4y squared plus y squared plus 8y minus 6y plus 4 equals 0. 5y squared plus 2y plus 4 equals 0. Now, we want to solve this by factoring. The factors of 4, we have a 5 now. So the product, really, is the product of A times C. The product is 5 times 4, and the sum is 2. So the factors, we have product is positive, sum is positive. So that means the factors have to add up. So 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. So none of these factors will add to give you 2. So this is really not factorable. It is factorable, but we can't find them nicely with being integers. So we will go with A, B, and C. That's as a quadratic. So we do the quadratic formula as we're going to, y in this case, not x. Y equals, it's negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So b is 2, so it's a negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared minus 4. A is 5, c is 4, and a is 5, so it's 2 times 5. So that gives us a negative 2 plus or minus. Now if you work this out, 2 squared is 4, and that's 20 times 4 is 80. So that's a negative 76 over 10. And so let's go up right here. So it's negative 2 plus or minus square root of 76. So 76 is even. 76 divided by 2 is 38. 38 divided by 2 is still even, is 19. So that's 4 times 19. So that's square root of negative 4 times 19 divided by 10. So that's negative 2 plus or minus 2i root 19 over 10. And we divide 2 into, so we can go negative 2 over 10 plus or minus 2i root 19 over 10. So that's negative 1/5 plus or minus I root 19 over 5. And notice we have an imaginary number. So that means we have no real roots because it's imaginary. If you have a negative underneath a root, it's imaginary. We have no real roots, spelled it wrong. So that means the graph, there will be no intersection. The line and the circle will not intersect. So, if the line and the circle won't intersect, let's draw the line. So let's look at the circle. Let's look at this. Let's take this equation right here: x squared plus y squared minus 6y equals 0. We group the x's, and the y's are already there. So half of negative 6 is negative 3 squared is 9. So we have an x squared. Factorization is a y. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. So y minus 3 squared gives you this trinomial. And so the center is 0, 3. And the radius, r squared is equal to 9. R is equal to 3 square root of 9. So we have a circle whose center is 0, 3, which is right there. X is 0, y is 3, and the radius is 3. So it's 3 right, 3 left, 3 up, 3 down. And I'll draw that circle with that radius of 3, just to be consistent in my drawings, using the compass. Make sure everything is okay, but again, you're going to be a little bit off with your. There it is. Always a little bit off, and especially where I'm on the camera here, I'm trying to give you the visual view. Now, so we can see what the circle is doing. So that line shouldn't be there. There it is. Now we have this equation, but the equation, when I graph this equation, I don't want to graph it. I don't want to solve it for x. I want to solve it for y. So negative 2y equals negative x plus 2. Divide by negative 2. Y is equal to a half x minus 1. Y equals mx plus b. That means m is 1/2 and b is negative 1. So let's graph this line. The y-intercept is negative 1 right there, and the slope is up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, or we can go down 1, left 2. So let's draw a line going through this y-intercept with the slope of a half. Here it is. And notice that the line does not intersect the circle. And algebraically, when you solve here, you had a measuring number, which means you had no intersection. So there's some examples solving graphically and geometrically to find the answers. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you like my video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.